Do you want the best education for your children? Finland is the answer. Although many countries have their upsides to their education systems, Finland is overall ranked as #1 for the best education system in the world. The way Finland has designed its education system, it offers free education to every citizen and endless opportunities for progress past education. The inspiration for Finland's approach was actually based on the research on education by many American philosophers such as John Dewey. Finland has been a top contender on every program for International Student Assessment Survey. Finland's education system enjoys a lot of buzz lately. It is considered one of the best education systems in the world. It routinely outperforms the United States in reading, science, and mathematics, and it has been a top performer since the first program for the International Student Assessment Triennial International Survey back in 2000. First, I'm going to give a description of how Finland's education system works, followed by how it compares to other countries, specifically the US. Now I will describe how Finland's education system works. Every country has some differences in their education systems, but there are many unique traits of the Finnish education system that puts them ahead of others. In Finland, early education is focused around learning through play. Children in Finland aren't required to attend school until the age of 6, at which pre-primary education begins. If a parent wishes to start their children's education early, there is a program called Early Childhood Education and Care. The program adopts a learning through play model to promote balanced growth according to the Finnish National Agency for Education's website. When a child turns 7, they begin basic education. Their basic education is 9 years long and 190 days a year. The teachers are highly qualified and have to go through more school than many other countries. Most teachers hold a master's degree, and basic ed teachers are required to hold them. 80% of basic ed teachers also participate in continuing professional development. This level of learning and continuous development ensures Finland's educators are steeped in the science of teaching, ironically drawing inspiration from the American yesteryear, I guess. Finland schools don't have standardized tests. However, they have their own ways of evaluating the level of learning. Once a child completes basic education, they have the option to further their education by continuing to upper secondary education. While not compulsory, 90% of students start upper secondary studies immediately after basic. Because of Finland's devotion to no dead ends, the other 10% can choose to return to their education later at no cost. Upper secondary education is split up into 2 paths, general and vocational. Both paths take around 3 years to complete. General education is made up of coursework. However, students get to decide a lot of what they're going to study. At the end of general education, students take a test called the National Matriculation Exam, which is Finland's only standardized test. This test is used in their college applications. On the other hand, vocational is a little different. Vocational education is more job-focused and incorporates apprenticeships as well as school learning. About 40% of students start vocational education after basic. This path ends with competence-based qualifications after the students complete an individual study plan. These 2 paths are not set in stone for students. They can decide to change paths or combine the 2 in some way at any time. Finally, higher education. Students can decide to go to college in Finland. This is also free like the rest of the education system. The only thing students are required to pay for is transportation and school supplies. Finnish colleges are divided into 2 types, universities and universities of applied sciences. Universities focus on scientific research, while universities of applied sciences emphasize practical applications. Students usually receive a bachelor's degree and 4 years of full-time study, compromising studies, electives, and a project. Master's degrees take 5 to 6 years, and as a rule, students are admitted to study for a master's right away. Finland's education system is fairly unique. All of their education is free, and its main goal is to provide the best education for students while also keeping them happy. School is organized by 4 different levels: early education, basic education, upper secondary education, and higher education or college. Finland's education system is quite different from other countries, especially the United States. The main difference between Finland's education system and the US is the way school is organized. In the US, there are some minor variances around the country, but for the most part, it's generally the same idea. Most children attend preschool from ages 3 to 4, although it's not required. Then most students attend kindergarten at age 5 and elementary school through 5th grade or age 10. Then students continue on to middle school for ages 11 to 13. High school is 14 to 18 or 9th to 12th grade, and college is not required, but the majority attend. This is very different from Finland's schooling. Teachers are also not required to have master's degrees in the US. Public school is free in the US, but if you wish to attend private school, it costs money and college is extremely expensive. There is also a lot of standardized testing in the US. Finland also provides more options for professional development past a college education than the US does. Finland's school days are also shorter than the US is. There are a lot fewer teachers in Finland, so students end up having the same teacher for multiple years. There is a lot more of a relaxed atmosphere in Finnish schools and US schools. In Finland, there is also a lot less homework assigned, and students normally spend around 30 minutes a night on homework. Finland and the US differ the most in their education systems when it comes to what ages students do what. There are also different opportunities for further education in Finland than there are in the US. Although the United States and Finland have very different education systems, they both have their benefits and drawbacks. Finland is rated #1 in the world for their education system. There could be many reasons for this, but their education system is very unique compared to many other countries. The US and Finland have very different education systems. Finland's schooling is broken up by early education, basic education, upper secondary education, and higher education. American education is broken up by preschool, elementary school, middle school, high school, and college. The ages for these levels are also very different. There's no standardized testing in Finland. Most of their teachers have master's degrees, and their school days are a lot shorter. Finland's education system is free to everyone, and students have a lot more freedom in their studies and decisions. If you want the smartest kid, move to Finland.